In the heart of the Forbidden City, where the crimson walls whispered secrets of 1,000 dynasties, a child was born who would grow to become one of the greatest emperors in Chinese history. His name was Kangxi. Born in 1654, he was destined not just to rule, but to redefine what it meant to be an emperor in the Middle Kingdom. The air of the Qing court was heavy with power, fear, and ambition. The Manchu dynasty was still young, fragile, and uncertain. The throne was surrounded by conspiracies, and the empire trembled under internal strife. When young Kangxi ascended to the dragon throne at the tender age of 8, the world doubted his survival, let alone his rule. But destiny had already chosen him. Behind those calm eyes burned the fire of a ruler who would reign for over 6 decades, the longest reigning emperor in Chinese history. His journey from a child emperor to a godlike ruler was not written in silk and gold, but in blood, wisdom, and unshakable will. Kangxi was not just a ruler, he was a strategist, a scholar, and a visionary. From the moment he grasped the imperial seal, he vowed to restore the pride of China. His empire stretched from the frozen steppes of Mongolia to the fertile plains of the Yangtze River. And yet, his greatest challenge came not from his enemies outside the Great Wall, but from those inside his own palace. The regents who ruled in his name underestimated him. They saw only a boy, but behind that boy was the spirit of a lion. At just 15, Kangxi orchestrated one of the most daring power moves in Chinese history. He exposed and executed the corrupt regent Oboy, taking full control of the empire. The dragon throne was his, truly his, and from that moment the age of Emperor Kangxi began. He ruled not with mere authority, but with intelligence. He reformed the military, strengthened the economy, expanded the empire's borders, and opened doors to knowledge. He studied science, philosophy, and mathematics. He invited Jesuit missionaries from the West, not as servants but as teachers. He learned astronomy, geography, and the art of ruling both the heart and the mind. Kangxi was a rare emperor, one who understood that power was not only in the sword but in the mind that guided it. Yet amid this brilliance, his palace life was a world of endless mystery. The Forbidden City housed over 3,000 women, his consorts, concubines, and queens. Each woman was chosen not merely for beauty, but for politics, power, and influence. The emperor's harem was not just a garden of pleasure. It was a battlefield of silent wars, alliances, and betrayal. Every smile hid a secret. Every glance could decide the fate of a family. For these women, love was a luxury. Survival was the goal. The emperor's favor could lift a clan to glory or destroy it overnight. Kangxi's harem became a living symbol of the empire as power, a reflection of the vastness of China itself, bound by loyalty, ambition, and fear. Some say he had over 3,000 consorts, others whisper it was even more. But none could deny the truth. His harem was an empire within an empire, a political machine disguised in silk and beauty. The alliances formed within those golden halls shaped the destiny of the Qing court. Each consort represented a noble family, each union a thread in the vast web of imperial power. Kangxi used this system with mastery, turning love into diplomacy, passion into politics. While the world outside saw a mighty emperor within the palace, he was the sun around which thousands of stars revolved. But power comes at a price. As years passed, the emperor grew weary of betrayal and deceit. His sons, born from different consorts, began fighting for succession. The palace turned cold. Brother turned against brother, mothers against mothers. The great emperor, who had united a nation, now saw division within his own bloodline. The burden of ruling the world's largest empire weighed heavy on his shoulders. Yet Kangxi remained unbroken. He led military campaigns to the borders of Mongolia, crushed rebellions, and brought peace to a realm torn by war. He expanded China's influence deep into Central Asia, and his rule became a golden age of stability and prosperity. Scholars called him the Son of Heaven, and even his enemies admired his wisdom. Under his reign, art flourished, cities prospered, and knowledge thrived. The people adored him, not out of fear but respect. Kangxi believed that an emperor must be both a father and a ruler to his people. He toured the empire, meeting commoners, inspecting farms, and ensuring justice. He listened to the cries of the poor, punished corrupt officials and rewarded loyalty. For him, the throne was not a seat of privilege, it was a sacred duty. But behind the splendor of his court, the shadow of mortality grew closer. He ruled for 61 years, longer than any emperor before him. His face aged, his body weakened, but his mind remained sharp as ever. In the twilight of his reign, Kangxi looked back upon a life of glory and sacrifice. He had defended his empire from chaos, expanded its borders, and turned China into one of the most powerful civilizations on earth. Yet in his heart he carried loneliness, a price every emperor pays for greatness. Surrounded by hundreds of concubines, he found himself yearning not for love, but for peace. The golden walls that once echoed laughter now whispered memories of lost years. He had conquered the world, but not the emptiness of his own palace. In his final days, he gathered his sons and advisers and spoke with the voice of a man who had seen it all. To rule, he said, is to serve. To be emperor is to bear the weight of heaven. These were the words of a monarch who had lived not as a god, but as a guardian of his people. On December 20th, 1722, the great Emperor Kangxi breathed his last. The dragon throne fell silent, the empire mourned, and the heavens wept. His legacy was vast, an empire unified, a dynasty strengthened, a golden age immortalized. To this day, his reign is remembered as one of wisdom, power, and glory unmatched in Chinese history. He was a ruler who mastered both the art of war and the art of the heart, a man whose name would echo through time as the embodiment of imperial majesty. Emperor Kangxi, the boy who became the Dragon of China, the ruler who turned the empire into eternity.